ladder 75 Alpha radio, and I need engine 75 Charlie radio on. And on Southwest 15. Engine 57 Delta, would you please put your radio back on? Would everybody come back to 15? Engine 75 Bravo, would you put your radio on the right channel?
16?
No, you're on 15. Engine 57 Delta, I need you on 15.
Who's Delta?
Engine
Scott.
57 Delta.
15.
1-5, thank you. All right, now I want to show you a couple of things. A big incident, you've got a lot of units here. There are some ways you can change so you don't have to do all that scrolling. If I hit this collapse all button, I still see the radios, and I would see if you're on or off or keep your mic. The colors still pop up, but as I see you keying your mic, if I want to know if it's keying their mic, see this up-down button? That's how I know I can expand who that is. Okay, that's just a way to get a little more room on the screen. So I'm going to work in this expanded so I can see radios so I know where they are. Expand them all, please. Hit this button and expand them all. 1, 2, 3, 4 buttons from the top. There's 4 folders that says Views. If you like working with Grace and you like having that list, see that button that says Table? That's how Grace looks. It's the same thing. So whichever view you want to use, you can use.
There's going to be red on there and orange, same color.
Red, orange, all that shows up. Okay? But for me today, I'm going to work off that graphical view because that helps me check radios. So if you go back to Views and hit Graphical. All right. So I still need those 2 radios. I don't know what we got to do to get those here, but I need those anyway. Okay? So.
75?
They went to go grab the radio.
Okay, so they're coming back. So we turn it on, we select the TAC channel radio, and if we don't know what it is when we get there, whatever tab is highlighted is the radio channel we're on. So we select our tactical channel, we make sure that's the tab, the radio channel we're on. To send a PAR request, all we do, that button on the upper left-hand corner that says Tactical Alert. Y'all see that over there? The one that was green? That's Tactical Alert. This is how we send a PAR. So go to that. If you are running accountability, you are always going to hit the top button. That sends it to everybody on our scene. So if we hit that button right there that says Group, you're going to notice this thing sends a whole lot more than PAR requests. And that's why we're bringing the chiefs back for different training. Now, if you're running accountability, you're probably only going to run 5 and 1, or you could use 4, but there's 16 messages that, don't send it yet, 16 messages. Evacuate, Mayday received, emergency traffic, exit building, PAR request, can report to Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, report to staging, report to recap, report to command, switch to offensive, defensive, and call command. So the chief could actually issue orders using that, and I'm going to demonstrate that in a minute. But for now, we're talking about accountability. Now, a couple of things I want to make you aware of. In the past, only 2 things turned the screen on your radio red. One of those was if you were out of range, and the other is if you hit your emergency button. These messages are color-coded. 4 of them will turn your radio screen red. Evacuate, exit building, defensive mode, and call command are all going to turn your radio screen red. 2 are going to turn them yellow. Mayday received in emergency traffic. Everything else is going to turn it green. Okay? When you get the alert, key the push to talk, and that's how you acknowledge the alert. If your radio, you don't have to hold it down, just key it. If the radio keeps talking to you, you got bumped. Just like we get bumped talking. Key it again. Now, if you turn your radio off during the alerting process, if you turn it off after it sends that message, you cannot acknowledge that alert. It has to be on and left on. If your radio is not on when the alert is sent, and you turn it on while it's alerting, you cannot acknowledge it. That's why your radio has to be on and on the right channel, okay? So, ready? Let's send a PAR request. All you do is select it and tell it confirm.
PAR request.
request. More request.
Now you can turn the volume down.
More request.
You'll notice on
More
here,
request.
every time, okay.
More request. More request.
Turn your radios down if you will.
More request.
You can turn it down after the message is sent. When someone is
More
ignored,
request.
57A will not be able to acknowledge because they turned theirs off. Ladder 75A will not be able to acknowledge because they turned it off. You see what I mean? There's no way they'll be able to clear that. When they are yellow, they are still in alert. When they turn green, they have acknowledged. And it takes it a minute for you to see it on the screen. Now also, we sent out 40 alerts. Everybody with me here? Everybody with me here? We sent out 40 alerts. We have 22 of 40 accounted for. Does that make sense? So I can sit there, if I'm running accountability, I can wait for all these to turn green. So if your radio is still talking to you, through your mic, I have 23 of 40. So if you have not acknowledged your alert, please do so. Key the mic. Don't sit there and hold it down. Key it and let it go.
What if you didn't get an alert?
And that's one of the things. So right now, we've got about half of these. Go ahead and stop that. Would you hit that end alert? We're going to end this early, and this is where I'm checking radios.
Cat, real quick, when you were key earlier, it went gray, but it never.
Okay, so let's stop right here. This
Okay.
is the part where I check radios. Remember I said, I promise you I'm going to find some radios that did not get that template. So the first thing I need to know is who did not hear it? What unit are you? Engine 75 what?
Bravo.
Engine 75 Bravo, and who else did not hear it?
Ladder 78 Charlie.
Okay, hang on just a minute, let me get these down. Engine 75 Bravo. My pen's crooked on this. So what I'm going to do, if you did not hear it when that alert was sent, we need to check your radio.
Here you go.
Thank you. Engine 75 Bravo. Ladder 75 Charlie. Who else did not hear it?
Ladder 78.
That was 78 Charlie.
Ladder 78 Charlie.
Delta 2. Ladder 78 Delta.
Ladder 78 Delta. Anybody else? Okay. So at this point, if we were running accountability, we're going to check your radios after class. Okay? And that could be a template error. That's why we check it. Would you hit this one? Close that out. So we sent that alert. If we're running accountability, we sit there, we can wait for that 40 of 40 to get there. We can sit there and wait for all of those to go green, whatever you want to do. But there's a check in this if you want to double, triple check. Or if we get that and there's people who are not acknowledging their part. You see that button that says resend? Next to the tactical alert button, would you scroll this list? That is everybody when we ended that alert that had not acknowledged that alert. So this time, we could send them another par request. So I hope all of you have your radios on because this is where we get down to checking. We could send them another par request or we could send them a different message. And because we're training today, we're going to send a different message. So let's resend a new message. And this time, let's tell them to evacuate or exit building.
Evacuate. 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 Evacuate.
All right.
Evacuate.
LA, can you not acknowledge?
I didn't say in Spanish, I was waiting for it.
It's not there. Okay, so we know Engine 75 Bravo is not able. Ladder 78 Charlie.
I got it.
Okay, only the people on that list will, all right, I need you to come back with me, guys.
Why'd you take my?
Only those people who were on that list should have gotten that message. Medic 86, are you here? Did you get that message? That's what I'm checking for. So Medic 86 Alpha and Medic 86 Bravo. All right.
Hey,
Ladders, hang on with me. Ladder 78 We know Delta didn't get it. Bravo and Charlie, did y'all hear that? Were you able to get it?
No, he gave me his shitty radio and now I'm dead.
So ladder 78 Alpha, ladder 78 Bravo, ladder 78 Delta, correct?
Correct.
Scroll back up for me. Engine 75 Bravo, we know that you can't as well.
Question, Kevin? So mine is green now, but the rest of the crew is red. This is just because of the evacuation.
That's because you
right?
were the only one to get the message. Only the people in that list, when I ended that, were gonna get
And now
that
I'm
last
good.
message. Now that you're green, you're good. All right, so say we have this scenario, and one of the things I'm doing here, guys, is making sure that your radio got the right template. So some of you do not have the right template on your radio, Medic 86, for example. We're gonna correct that, okay? That's why I have to have your radio in here. Yes?
Yeah, was everyone supposed to get that message?
No.
Oh.
Okay, so let's say we have this situation. All right, these people, and I see they're not clearing, just like with Grace. You send it out and somebody's not clearing. If you're used to running accountability, how do I manually clear them? What is the one CCA for this program? So you get on there and you see, Mr. Garcia, hey, you're in alert, are you okay? Yeah, we have par. All we do to manually clear it is if we tap that yellow box, you will see his radio information come up, and we tell it to account for him. And once we do that and we close that blue X, he has been accounted for and he drops to the bottom of the screen. People that are still in alert stay at the top of the screen. If you're in alert, you're always at the top of the screen. So once again, if we wanted to start with ladder 78, we just tap that yellow button and we tell them account. And we go through so on and so forth. Is that really clear? Okay, so we know some of those won't clear because they don't have the right template. Okay.
So the chief's not on there for a reason, because he's gonna be on his radio, correct? What about the other chief, the chief I assigned to Division Bravo?
He'll be on it.
Who will be on?
Everyone is on, so go ahead and close it out. So like, once we have everyone cleared and accounted for, we have accounted for 14 and 14, then we can end the alert. You're sure you want to end it? Is everybody good? Yes, it is. So does that make sense to everyone? So we turn it on, we select the radio channels that we're sent to, we go to tactical alert, the top button, select the alert and send it. And then if they don't clear, hit the yellow box to count. Any questions about that? That's all there is to send in bars. Super easy. Works a lot better when everybody's radio is working, but we'll take care of that too. Okay? All right. So I want to show you something Chief can do. We're not asking accountability to do this. I want to show you something Chief can do. Let's go back to tactical alert. Chief has this in the car with him once we train them. This time we're going to select the bottom button. And this time, let's send somebody somewhere. Pick a different message. There you go. We're going to start confirm. If, let's say, for example, I want you to think boxes everywhere there is a yellow dash, I can send a message. So I could select any individual gray box that you want. Who is select?
Engine 78 Bravo.
Okay. Just pick one. Anybody? Okay. Wait. Go back. Let's undo that. If we're going to select the whole company, if I hit this dash in the white box, everybody contained in that box gets the message. If I select an individual box, an individual yellow dash, only that person gets a message.
Send it.
If you send it, go back and check this again, please. There we go. Would you go back and check the one I told you to check the first time, right over here? Now, only those 5 people will get this message. On that alert.
Report to Alpha. Report to Alpha. Report to Alpha. Report to Alpha. Report to Alpha.
Nope.
And then ladder 78 Bravo didn't get it the last time, so we manually cleared him by going there.
Give my radio back, Sean.
Okay. Does that make
Like
sense?
Steeler.
Now that feature, remember the messages this program can send in the alert? You always have to end the alert. Okay, so let's remember that if you guys are on a scene, Chief has a multiple, ladder 90 shows up late on the incident and Chief has a lot of radio traffic. Maybe it's a big warehouse or something and Chief needs to get you going towards Charlie or Delta Division. Or hopefully Chief's using that to send us to rehab and say take a break. Or officers, if maybe he needs a CAN report from you. When you key that mic, you have acknowledged an order. And yes, Chief is going to say that and verbalize it, but maybe he can kind of speed up the process. Does that make sense? So be aware if you hear those things. How your chief chooses to use that, I don't know, but be aware that that capability exists for them to do that. Okay? Do we have any questions about acknowledging alerts? By the way, that thing is loud. It is designed to be loud. No matter how low you've got your radio volume turned down, it is always initially going to alert that loud. You can turn the volume down after it alerts, but if you turn your radio off, you can't acknowledge it. Okay? So maybe instead of doing that,